You're out doing something normal. You're fishing, you're hunting, you're hiking, you're going to get gas. Maybe you're driving to and from work. And then something happens. The shit hits the fan. We all think about it. We all think about what happens if something goes completely sideways. You guys got to remember, you're most likely not going to get any warnings whatsoever. It's going to come as a complete and total shock and surprise. In that moment, you are not going to have time to pack. You're probably not going to have any time to get back to your house. You're not going to get any big warnings. There's going to be no signal shifts. It's just going to happen when you least expect it. You could prepare for months, weeks, years, and a lot of us have even tried to prepare for everything, but the reality is we don't know when the zombie apocalypse is going to happen, or that EMP or social unrest. I mean, really the only thing we can get any type of advanced warning for is some type of a natural disaster. What I'm trying to say is the reality is pretty much that you are never going to have everything you need on you to survive at any given moment. So in this video, I'm going to show you all what it is that I keep in my truck, all of the core gear that I might have to use if I have to get home, whether it's on foot or actually in this vehicle. So I'm going to find a little quiet spot here to pull off, and we're going to go ahead and go through my gear piece by piece. Now, I don't know how many of you people out there own Jeeps, but the biggest problem that anybody has with a Jeep is that there is no storage in any of these vehicles. Even in this four-door Gladiator, yeah, it's rough. It's rough to get stuff stored in. So I'm going to show you what's in this lower compartment first. We're going to pull everything out, put it on the tailgate, and take a look at it. Let me just pop this cover up right here, and you can see in here that there is very little storage in here whatsoever. Okay, so that took forever, but I now have everything laid out here on the truck. You guys can see from this overhead view. This is what I have underneath the seats of my truck. And yes, I'm not showing you everything because, well, it's my truck and I love you guys, but I gotta have some kind of privacy. So first things first, this med bag. I always have a med bag in my truck. You're never gonna find me without one. This med bag is a full trauma kit. If you wanna know what's inside here, I do have a video on how I actually built this kit. So put her aside for now. The next thing is jumper cables. If you don't have jumper cables and know how to use jumper cables, I don't know what to tell you by now. You should know how to use jumper cables. These are great things to have in your vehicle. Always have them in your vehicle. Another pretty good thing that I think we all need to have is a decent shovel. Now this shovel, I'm pretty sure is Vietnam War era, so you can use it as a traditional shovel, which is great, but you can also set it at a 45-degree angle, so you can use this as a trenching tool, which I think is fantastic. So if you don't have a shovel in your vehicle, I highly recommend these guys right here. These are super cheap money from, you know, an Army surplus store. You can probably get them on eBay pretty cheaply. So, cheaply, is that a word? Anyway, so I highly recommend getting a good shovel for yourself. Now, we all have a jack and a lug nut wrench in our vehicles, and that's great to have. If you don't have one or you don't know where it is, go look for it. I have found that my lug nut wrench, because I have bigger tires, doesn't work on everybody's vehicle. So I like to have one of these, and I picked this guy up at Harbor Freight. It was dirt cheap. It works pretty decently, and it's just a little four-way lug wrench. We've got 7/8, 13/16, 3/4, and 11/16. So we can pretty much take care of any problems with this one thing. And this is great too because I might have to ditch my vehicle and take another vehicle, and well, if I get a flat tire, I'm screwed. We all know most cars don't have full-size spares, but people lose these, so good something to throw in your pack. It may seem stupid and it may seem simple, but having a small fleece blanket in your vehicle, it's fantastic. Why wouldn't you have one? It's not required, but I'd carry one. Now this kit right here, this is probably one of the most important things that I have in my vehicle. It's a little mini compressor. I think I've shown this in another video or two, but it's this cute little guy who comes out. I didn't say cute, I don't know. But it's an air compressor. God. So this comes out, it plugs into your cigarette lighter, into your 12-volt. And, well, it's used to fill your tires up. And I've used this a couple times now on some trailer tires, and it works great. It takes a little while, but it's better than nothing. One thing I should say is that it is very loud. So if you're trying to be quiet and conceal yourself, this thing's going to give away your paws pretty quickly. Longtime viewers of the channel, you all know I love bags and backpacks and cases and all kinds of stuff. And I have in my truck this crappy backpack. It's the crappiest backpack I own, and I don't know who it's from. No Boundaries. It's got some red marking, orange marking rather, on the inside. It's great. It's got a little compass, but I like to have this in my truck because if I have to leave my vehicle and bug out, as they say, I have a backpack stored away safely under my seat that I can put all of these essentials in that I might need. That was pretty cool. That stuff happens here all the time. We've got these things flying over the outdoorsman compound all day, and they're always that low, and it always gets me going every time I see them. I hope you enjoyed that. Now we're going to get into that other case. Well, actually, no, let's get into this first. This little kit that I have right here. You guys can see it. This is not complete. I just really started building this out the other day, and you can see in here that we've got a little bit of sewing thread. We have some safety pins, a couple of batteries. I don't know, I just didn't have everything that I thought I needed in here, so I wanted to chuck in a little extra kit. But here's something, I don't know if you can see this right here, because it's going to focus on my face. Hold on, let's go focus, there we go. A curved needle. And the reason that I have a curved needle in here, and it's very, very, very sharp, is that, well, you might have to do some kind of makeshift suturing, and that really sucks to do with a straight needle. So if you can get yourself a curved needle, go ahead and throw one of those in your little kit. All right, let's get into the kit right here, the emergency supplies kit. And again, it is not a firearm. But if we flop this baby open right here, inside, let's see. I know we got a good view on that camera there, but let me see if I can get you guys a little bit better of a view. Oh, don't fall out there. All right, because I've got a GoPro of this. It's terrible. Now, this is a kit that I can just take, and I can throw this right into our little green backpack here, and I can be on my way. I have a little multi-tool in here. I don't know, somebody probably bought this for my dad way back in the day. It's got a little hammerhead on it. It's got a knife, things like that, but it's a good pounding implement if you got to pound something. I like to have it in the kit. Perhaps I have to do some kind of E&E, escape and evasion. So I like to have one of these little camo compacts in here in case I need to, you know, obscure my face, whatever, what have you. Electrical tape. If you don't have electrical tape in your vehicle, you're stupid. Get some electrical tape. I also have a little knife sharpener here, a Smith's knife sharpener since 1980 something. I hate that this won't focus. There we go. Little Smith's knife sharpener. Fantastic ceramic and carbide blades. Gets your knives nice and sharp. A little tiny police notebook. Well, it's not a police notebook. It's just a little notebook. I can jot down my position where I am, or if I need, I can tear a piece off, leave it in my truck, let somebody know where I've gone. Something else that I have in here, because I run optics on all of my firearms, I have a little 1632 Duracell battery. These all work with every single one of my red dots. A Sharpie, gotta have a Sharpie, right? Sharpies are good to have, good for writing notes, and you can write on yourself if you get bored. This guy right here, look at that fancy guy. A Halloween pencil. Don't ask me why, it's a pencil. Super glue. I think super glue is just an important thing to have in your kit. You can do wounds, whatever. I have some vet wrap here, a little bit of white vet wrap. Don't ask me why, it's just good. Sometimes you need to grip something. Also underneath here, I've got a pretty good length of sticky Velcro. I use sticky Velcro on pretty much everything I own, so I like to have a little bit in there. And of course, probably one of the most important things you could have is a decent compass. If you don't know how to use a compass, we're going to be doing a land nav course pretty soon here. As soon as my buddy gets back from his adventures, we'll be doing a land nav. Now, because this is in fact a gun case, and it is Glock's gun case, it's got a little special thing right here if I were to need it. Let's pull that out. You never know if you're going to need it. So in that case is this little cleaning jag rod. So you can actually take your firearm and you can go ahead, clean the barrel out, whatever. I can't wait for the comments to be like, or just put your hand in front of the muzzle of that gun. Get bent. Now there's one more thing that I want to show you guys that I keep in my truck, but before I do, if you've enjoyed the video so far, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Check out the Patreon account and YouTube memberships here. We have all kinds of fun stuff going on over there. Don't forget, you guys are what makes this channel great, so I really appreciate each and every one of you. This is something that I don't even know if I should be talking about because there might be some legal issues with it. In my vehicle here, if I fold down this top seat, I've got a couple of items in the back here. I've got some nitrile gloves because you never know. I also have these tent stakes to put up a rain fly over the bed of my truck. There's one other thing that I have in here, and I don't know if it's going to get me in trouble or if I should take it out, but I have 50 rounds of ammunition in my vehicle. Now, a lot of laws say that your ammunition needs to be in some type of a locked container inside your vehicle. And where I live, they deem a glove box or center console as a locked device. But my seats, because I own a Jeep, and a lot of times you're driving around with outdoors on, each one of these seats on the very top right here has a lock, and I can actually lock these seats to where you cannot open this and you cannot open this down here. So you got to push down, it locks, and everything in here is completely locked up. So if you're going to have spare ammunition in your vehicle, make sure you check your laws before you go doing that. Now, like I said in the intro, there's no end-all be-all to these situations. You could literally fill this entire truck cab and the bed up with all of your emergency supplies, and chances are you're just not going to have everything that you need to survive individual situations. I really do hope that you guys found this video helpful. So down in the comments, if you could, let me know what is some of the stuff that you guys carry in your vehicles to make sure that you can get home if you have to. The best time to prepare was yesterday. The second best time is today. See you guys next time. Oh, one more thing. Spring is here, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you get out and pre-seed your lawns before summertime.